All right, I think we're live. Thanks everybody for coming in. And uh, Dylan reached out to me. He said, "Why don't we get a group together and talk about the national?" I think we're 27 days out, right, Dave?
Yes, 27, 28, something like
Okay,
that.
so yeah, this is a great group of guys. Me and Dave are actually rooming together at the national. I think isn't Adam and Dylan? Aren't you guys rooming together? Yep. And then Dom, are you staying with anybody? You staying by yourself?
Yeah, I'm actually rooming with Sammy Thunder, cool
Nice.
friend of mine, local guy. So we set that up a couple months back.
Awesome. And then Matt's staying off site.
The
Right, Matt?
tires. Yep.
Yep.
Yeah, in
You're
the
gonna have to
countryside.
commute in every day. How far is your commute?
Better than my work commute. It's only about 15 miles. Not too bad.
Okay. All right. Well, all right. Well, why don't we go around real quick in case somebody ends up watching this and just say what your channel name is and how many times you've been to the national. Go ahead, Dave.
Dave, Legends of the Dugout, and I've been once.
Matt from the Card Story. It's our first trip.
Dom.
Oh, we're going that way. Okay, so yeah, I'm Dom, David Sports Cards, and I went last year in Atlantic City.
Nice.
My name's Dylan, and I went when I was 12 years old to the Anaheim Angels, the Anaheim Convention Center.
Oh, nice.
Adam, Vintage Sanctuary, and I went once last year.
Awesome. So Adam, since you went last year and it was your first time, are you more excited going this year, or were you more excited last year, just not knowing what to expect?
Yeah, I think it's a different type of excitement, because last year it was like, what the heck am I doing? Because I got tickets and stuff pretty late in the game, and everything was so expensive to travel, and I was going all the way to Atlantic City from the West Coast. And, I had not met anyone in person yet. And so I was spending all this money and establishing new relationships with people on YouTube. And so I think it's a different type of excitement. Now I have some relationships established. I have a little bit of national experience under my belt. Chicago is going to be a lot easier to get to, though. And it sounds like the setup's going to be a lot nicer overall.
Yeah. So who all put up the money for the VIP tickets? Raise your hand. Okay, so you guys even want to talk to us? You're VIPs.
I know you guys are lucky we're on here.
Hey, you can hold our snack bags. There you go.
We're going to be resting while y'all are walking around. Just if you can scope out the cards for us.
Yeah, so Dave, you're like the expert with VIP. So what all I know VIP sold out today, so if anybody was looking to buy it, but what all does the normal VIP get?
Well, it's like 12 signatures, the swag bag of whatever the gifts are in it, 30-minute entry, the lounge. There's probably a couple other things I can't remember off the top of my head right now.
Is the lounge like real ghetto, or is it actually nice, Dom?
The one I did in 2012, I don't remember ever going to the lounge, but I see that they're really doing it up this year for the VIP lounge.
Okay. There's like one microwave in there that everybody's waiting on, and
yeah,
Warm up the hot pocket.
Yeah.
All right. Well, why don't we? Yeah, go ahead, Dave.
Oh, nothing.
Why don't we? Yeah, what's up, Dylan? Go ahead.
Dude, first, Adam, I remember last year watching you, and then you last minute you went, and you I feel like you just got into YouTube like a few months before you're on Mike's show. Dude, you were like my hero. I'm like, dude, this guy just is going. I don't even think he had a room or you were my hero last year, and I'm so stoked to be a roommate this year. It's like I'm just fired up. So thanks for the motivation.
Thank you, my friend.
Adam, were you like sleeping out in your car at night and everything, or what?
So I did get a room. I ended up sharing it with myself because nobody else in their right mind would stay with me. No, because I was so late, I actually even tried to let somebody stay with me for free, especially if they were on a limited budget, but there were no takers at that point. So it was kind of a spendy relatively last minute decision, but I'm really glad I did it.
Nice.
You sold that coin.
I sold a couple coins. One was my biggest coin by far that I had, over time acquired through trading up. And that brought a good amount of cash. So I worked out a deal with my wife, said, hey, I'd kind of like to go to this thing, but it's going to be pretty spendy. So part of it came out of our vacation fund, and part of the trip expense came from the couple of coins that I sold. And then it left me with a decent chunk of money for the National, more than I would, typically have on hand to spend on collectibles.
Awesome. So I'm going to ask the chat who's all going to the National, so we can maybe put them up on the screen so anybody watches, they know to reach out. So the one big reason we wanted to get this together that Dylan thought is, why don't we talk about some of the cards we're targeting there, and then we can also help each other watch out for them. So does anybody want to go first and talk about some of the cards they're looking for? Dave, you ready? Dave, Dom, you ready? Go ahead, Dom.
Oh, I was going to go last because I'm probably the only person here that doesn't have a specific list. So I actually just grabbed cards that I bought at last year's National that fit into topics of my collection for things that I'm always looking to pick up. So I'll be looking for it there. So I don't know. I got stuff like the 68 Atlantic Oil Yaz. So I'm always looking to get new Yastrzemskis in the collection. So this one's the play ball back. I love my Hall of Fame rookies. So the few that I need, this is the last one I needed from the 70s last year, Mike Schmidt. Need a few in the 60s and 50s especially. So looking out for stuff like that, but nothing too specific this year.
Nice. Go ahead, Dylan. What's up?
Dom, do you have when you're buying cards, are you targeting grades in those or slab in certain thing, or just however it comes?
Eye appeal, then price. That's all I care about.
Awesome.
So
Nice.
Well, I'll keep my eyes peeled for Yaz cards that are special, but you've probably seen them all since this will be my first time seeing half the cards there. So
yeah, Dylan, what are you going to focus on?
I've got one. I made this list, and then I'm like, dude, do I really need a list? It's all going to be a new world to me. Seeing so many cards I've never seen in my life. I tell people all the time, most cards that I have purchased have been, the first time I ever held it was when it showed up in the mailbox. It's like when I was going to card shows, I was just buying boxes back in the day and looking at the vintage, and then I was buying the vintage on eBay. So I just didn't talk to the old dealers back then. I don't know, I was shy or whatever it was. So for me, I have one target, and it's the 1941 Joe DiMaggio play ball, because of that season, and I want a Joe DiMaggio card. I've never had one of his playing days, and that's like a grail and an accomplishment in and of itself to own one of his cards for me. I always told my wife for years and years, if you ever see a Joe DiMaggio card on the wall, you need to make sure I didn't spend too much money, because that to me, it was always untouchable. And he's right up there with Babe Ruth and Lou Gehrig. And if not for me, maybe even higher than Lou Gehrig in just my mindset as a kid. And that season alone, and then I'm also trying to get the Ted Williams from that as well, because of the season, just the most magical season in baseball ever. And so that's the only one I'm truly targeting, is that Joe DiMaggio and maybe the Ted Williams. Everything else is going to be come and go. Oh yeah, one more I need everybody's help with is the 1924 Willard's Chocolate Duke Kahanamoku. I'm looking for that card, and if anyone sees it, let me know. And the reason why I'm looking for that card, that's it right there. I was staying on Oahu probably 4 months ago now, just on vacation, and we were staying at the Rainbow Hilton, right? There's a Kaiser surf spot in Ala Moana. Well, I was on the street where Duke was born and raised, and then I went below my hotel, me and my wife, and we're walking through this little village, and there was a collectibles shop. I'm like, no way, this is insane. I went in there, and that card was in there, and it was this. It's just a super magical moment. I found that card. They wanted $2,000 for the 3, and I mean, I almost wanted to buy it, but I had to look up comps, and they're like, you know, 300-500 I'd be willing to spend. Comps that hadn't sold in so long. They're hard to come by. I don't care what grade. I don't care if it's raw. I'm just looking for one. There's one on eBay, but I had it on my watch list since then, and I made offers after offers, and finally I saw today it was gone. So yeah, that's kind of that one I need everybody's help with. You find that, because no one else is going to be looking for that card. But
what kind of like pop does it have, just to kind of give us an idea of how rare it is?
I want to say it's probably around the 10 to 20 range. It's,
oh my gosh,
as far as what they've been graded. I didn't go like crazy looking up. I just know they're not easy to come by.
Yeah.
So
wow, that's awesome. I'll have to keep an eye out for you.
Yeah, that'd be stoked.
So Adam, you ready? What are you
Sure.
targeting at the National, man?
Sure. So let me say that I kind of have a Zen approach, which is, okay, I wouldn't mind adding another 52 Topps card to my collection if the right one comes along. So let's say maybe a Larry Doby or a Bob Feller, just to give a couple of examples, if the right one speaks to me, because I don't see myself ever having, a completion on 52 Topps, even if we're just talking about Hall of Famers or Hall of Famers plus the cards I want, because obviously the Mickey Mantle is a stopper and there's some other stoppers, but I always love to add more 52 Topps. So the right 52 Topps comes along and speaks to me. The right 53 Topps comes along and speaks to me. I'm blessed to have the Mantle and Mays. I don't have Jackie or Satchel Paige. So if the right 53 Topps, Jackie Robinson or Satchel Paige speaks to me, I could pull the trigger on that. 54 Topps, if the right 54 Topps speaks to me, and that would be Jackie Robinson or Ernie Banks would probably be, a couple of ones that are high on my list that I don't have. When we go back to the 48-49 Leaf, I've got the Musial and the Ted Williams. So how sweet would it be to have Joe DiMaggio to go with these two? It would have to be a low grade, but if a low grade 48-49 Leaf Joe DiMaggio spoke to me, that would be a sweet pickup. As far as 41 goes, I would also like my buddy roommate Dylan. I would also love to have the 41 play ball Ted Williams. However, for Joe DiMaggio, I would probably hold out and try to get a 48-49 Leaf, because I think that would go really nicely with my Williams Leaf and my Musial Leaf. But I'm totally open. If the right pre-war, I don't have much pre-war, very little. So if the right pre-war card comes along, the Red Hearts. I like the red Hearts, the ones with the red background. So I've got the key one, that's Stan Musial, and I have some others, but there's some I don't have, such as Al Rosen. So if the right any red heart, that I don't have graded, I'm personally I'm not, it's possible I could pull the trigger on a raw card maybe, but I'm mostly looking for graded. So if the right graded red heart that I don't have comes along, and I could keep blabbing on, but let me just say that I'm hoping to get at least one bigger card, or probably one bigger card, which would probably end up being a comma card. And then, fill in with some smaller purchases. So I'm hoping to walk away from the National with one comma card that might be something, along the lines of these cards that I have here from 48-49 Leaf. But if I don't get one, that's okay too, but I'm pretty sure I probably will, because there's an awful lot of options at the National.
I've actually heard a lot of people say they're looking for a Joe DiMaggio. Al from Iconic Baseball is looking for one, I know, and I believe Adam from Splendid is looking for one. Now, do you know Dylan, or you're not sure?
I don't know. We were gonna have a talk about it. I'm not sure.
So Adam, the way you buy, I'm going to ask everybody, the way you buy, it sounds like you just look at cases. Like, do do you look at cases? Do you also look at binders? Do you also look at dollar boxes, or do you just look at cases and move on?
So pretty much cases. Once in a while, I might ask a dealer if I think there's, a higher probability that dealer might have something that's not displayed that I would want. Once in a while, I might ask a dealer. I'm going to be, I know this is kind of getting into strategy, but I'm going to be picky because it's a lot. One can, at least me, most collectors can spend money a lot faster than they can save money for the National. So I'm going to be picky. And when I say picky, that doesn't just mean condition picky, but I will be, for the most part, condition picky, meaning if I'm getting a 1, I want to really like the look of that for a 1. If I'm getting a 2, I want to really like the look for a 2, and so forth. But I'm also going to be picky in terms of only buying things that really speak to me, whether or not they speak to somebody else, like, oh, this red heart really speaks to me, so I'm going to get that. I'm going to be picky for a couple of reasons. One is because it's easy to run out of money quick, even if a person brings a fair amount, and I'd like to have some money available for each day in case I want to, get something else. And the other is because I think last year's National, one of the things I learned is what I walked away with, which was about a dozen cards roughly. I mean, I could look at the record and see, they were all nice. About half of them I'm really glad I bought. And about the other half, most of those I've ended up either giving away or selling because they weren't a great fit. A part of that is, of course, one learns over time, oh, I don't necessarily need this. I'd rather have something else. But part of that was me just not being more thoughtful about my purchases. I had a fair amount of money and I'm going around and I'm like a kid in the candy store and I'm buying stuff. So I'm going to be pickier this year in terms of not just condition, but also just making sure, regardless of the price, whether it's more expensive or less expensive, that I'm just buying stuff that I really, really want.
Hey, Darren's looking for the VIP lounge. So, Adam, a lot of guys don't know what language the cards speak to you in. We're wondering if it's Swahili or what the language is, but maybe you could think about that because poor Matt, I haven't heard him say a word yet. Are you there, Matt? Or is that
Okay if I say something now?
Go ahead, man.
No, I'm just kidding. No, that's good. I'll speak on behalf of Ty since he's not here. He's looking to obviously pick up that T205 Cobb I've talked about a couple times on other live streams, right? So, and then obviously finish up this 55 Bowman set. We're about 60 cards away, so we're gonna try to wrap that up at the National. For me, I'm looking for obviously Aaron cards primarily. Seem to be kind of pretty focused on the playing days at this point. So, a few I'd like to get my hands on would be any of the spick and spans. We only have the 57. Happy to have it, obviously, but if we can find a 54, and then looking forward to this card here popping up, the 58 Hires root beer.
Are you looking with the tab or out tab?
Yeah, I don't care if either way. Honestly, I'll take with or without. I kind of like the without, honestly, because normally I like the oversized slabs, trust me, but I don't know why. The tab looks kind of weird. Just the shape's interesting. I know why it was shaped that way to fit in the bottle, the 6-pack. But yeah, I kind of like just the card. But eventually I would need to get both. I know it sounds terrible to say I need them, but I'd like to get both of them eventually. But prioritizing just the card. Obviously price dependent, kind of like Adam's saying, in terms of like, make sure the price and the condition are there. So I'm open to 1 to 3 kind of range. Hopefully, if we can find that, it's kind of my sweet spot for these higher dollar cards because there's so many of them that I need to get or we need to get. So and then obviously bazookas are always around. Venezuelans, hopefully, you can find a couple more. Kind of targeting the 64 base Venezuelan. That's the only one I need now to finish that run. Luckily for me, he's got 5 cards in 64 if you count the team card, but that obviously, unfortunately for me, has 5 cards. So we have 4 of them now, including the team one. Then we just need the base, which is the most expensive one, of course. So if I can come across a 1 or 2 in that, I'll be happy to pick it up as well. So, but yeah, no, looking forward to obviously first and foremost to meet everyone in person, and then obviously spend some time with Dave and Dylan in the lounge, and you guys can tell us how it is on your feet out there walking around.
By the way, if I can throw something in really quick, that Hires root beer made me think this idea of, cards speaking to me and being flexible. And I understand some people have particular cards they're targeting, and that's wonderful. But like if I'm, walking around and there's I'm not looking for a Hires root beer card, but I like them. And if there's just one there and it's just like freaking calling my name, I'm like, oh man, this is awesome. You know, it's got a great price, it's a great player. Then I'm hoping, to me, that's part of the excitement, is that there'll probably be a few purchases in there that, you know, hopefully you know, I don't make them without giving it some thought, but they just sort of blindsided me, and I'm like, wow, this is really sweet. I'm gonna pull the trigger on this, and to me, that's part of the fun, not knowing what you're gonna get,
I
or
thought
at
you were
least
gonna,
not knowing everything you're gonna get.
I thought you were gonna say like a root beer dad joke there. You said sweet, and I was waiting for something good. That's cool. I think it's cool that, Adam, you're so flexible and you just see a card and you're just like, wow, that needs to be in my collection. I think it'd be cool if I had more of that spirit in me. I get kind of laser focused on certain things, I feel like, but I better let Dave. Dave, you've been chomping at the bit over there. What are you thinking?
Well, first, I'm just going for the friendships, you know, building that a little bit stronger and building some more. But I mentioned before, like the 54 Aaron and a 53 Mantle is like kind of on the top of my list. But that can change. I mean, I did make a list of things. A lot of it, there's a lot of pre-war stuff on there. So I might be going that route maybe. I don't know. It all depends on pricing of cards, the condition of it, everything else. So yeah, that's it for me.
So
And enjoying the VIP lounge.
Dave, similar. Oh, let's go down there. Dylan's going to show something.
Oh no, Mookie just mentioned a card, and I'm like, oh, I have that card sitting right there. I wasn't trying to interrupt. I was just flashing cards like Lou Rock style, you know, in the middle.
Yeah, we
of
got to show some cards to keep everyone here.
Disregard me.
Oh no, you're good, man. I just wanted to say to Dave. Dave seems like my question earlier. Are you going to look at the cases? Are you going to look at the dollar boxes? Are you going to look at the binders? Dave, you seem
I
like
look at everything.
Everything. Yeah, that's what
like I skim the cases first because I'm not much of a slab guy.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, I'll buy a slab card, but I'm all about raw, you know, ungraded, you know, for some reason, I just love it. It's cheaper to me. But I'll look in the cases because sometimes dealers have like raw cards, you know, in the cases. So and they might have like 50% off the stack or whatever. And I'll see nothing in there. There might be a year or something I'm looking for. Then I'll just go from there.
Yeah.
Or I'll ask questions and see if they have something else that's, you know, and they got in boxes or totes or something behind they haven't displayed yet. Cause I mean, it is a big show and they have to recycle their product through. So, I mean, there's binders that are going to be out. I mean, you're going to see tables that are just like nothing but open binders of years and boxes and everything. So, I mean, it's just crazy, you know? So I like to go through it all, ask questions, you know, that's me. Like I'm trying to find the best deal I can.
Nice. Dylan, you got something. What's going on, man?
Hey Dave, you still collecting that one Trout card where he's catching it?
I am.
What ones do you need? Yeah, 2019. Yeah.
Yep. We'll get later.
What's that?
I said we'll get together later.
All right. Yeah, I want to know which ones you need. And are you gonna be searching for any at the show?
I am.
All right. Nice.
Yep.
Nice. All right. Well, we went over some of the stuff we're looking for. You know, everybody probably knows Three River Card Collector's in here. I'm very jealous. He's got the Groat rookie card that I really want. I'll show it real quick. I'm hoping to pick this baby up in like a 2 or a 3 at the show. This one is amazing. It's got some great centering.
What's that card number?
It's 369. Yep.
Yeah, high number is going to crush it. Yeah.
Yeah. Let's check out the back on that baby. Wow.
Now, is there a black back for that one too, or no? Just the one red back. There's
I
both,
don't-
right?
I think it's just red. I
only?
didn't know there would be a variation, to be honest.
I think there's some that are both, right? I could be wrong.
I don't think in the high numbers. I could be wrong, but I don't think the high numbers have black and red backs.
Okay, just the first series, or whatever.
Earlier series somewhere in there, yeah.
Yeah, it's a great card. Adam, I just real quick, you brought up 53 tops. You didn't bring up Yogi Berra. Do you already have that one? I think.
I have the 53 tops Yogi.
I thought you did.
Where is that thing hiding? Oh, there it is. Oh,
That's like one of my. I'll look at that card all day. It's awesome.
Yeah, that's one of the
I
best.
love this card.
So what about you, Theo? Cases, boxes, binders?
To be honest with you, like my list, other than
Oh, dude, hey, hold on. Time out.
yeah.
I was opening mail while we were just. I was opening mail and
Okay.
look what's inside.
What?
Oh,
Dude, I was like, I'm gonna open this. This might be in the mail.
I wish your mail lady came to my house.
Dude,
Wow.
that's
That's very
the first time I'm
nice.
looking at this. I've never owned this card. Wow, that's sick. I can't believe I just opened that right there.
That's a great one. Wow,
Oh, now the card's got a story.
that's awesome.
Yeah, this is sick. All right, sorry to interrupt. I just
No, man.
I decided to rip over my mail today. Wow.
No,
that
it's
was
loose.
a spontaneous interruption.
Oh
Right?
my goodness.
How is that then? Wow.
Totally warranted.
so I'm gonna go to Dom next, but Dave, back to your question about my main goal is to just look at cases because I'm looking mainly for graded Clemente cards. If I see somebody has a good amount of Clemente cards, I'll probably ask them what else they have because I'm really looking for obscure stuff. So I'm probably gonna just quickly look over tables to try to get to more vendors as quickly as possible and try to focus in on maybe guys that seem to have more Clemente stuff. So that's probably what I'll do.
Okay.
But you never know. Dom, go ahead, man. What's going on? What's your strategy?
Yeah, so Orlando's comment, if you want to pull that back up, I was pointing down to it, but the best deals are the stuff that's outside the cases a lot of the time. The dealers are going to put like their top tier stuff. You're going to see some museum worthy cards in showcases, comma card after comma card. But for the average collector or someone like me, I don't know if the cards are speaking Swahili to me, but I like to look for the stuff that is kind of not seeing it every day. Like you can see the basic Topps and Bowman cards at any card show, but when you're at the National, there's such a large quantity of rarer stuff that you don't see all the time. Like last year, just on a stack of random like magazine covers and everything, I got this 53 Dixie Lid Premium Bob Lemon.
Nice.
And the guy was like, I don't know, $15 sound good? And I was like, absolutely $15 sounds good. This is like an $80 photograph. So
You should have said like $10.
when it's under $20, my buddy Jake always gets on me. Like I'll pay sticker when it's under $20 if it's already a ridiculous price that I'm happy with. Like it's $20. I've spent it on stupider stuff in my life. But you'll find stuff like this outside. You'll find cheap slab boxes. Staying on the Bob Lemon train since Scott's in the chat. This one had a $20 price tag on it, signed, already slabbed in just a slab box of autographs. Like you're gonna find so much surplus. Dealers will be buying stuff the first couple days and then not pricing it because they don't have time for Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And you just say, hey, like you bought this in a bulk deal, I'll give you $20 for it. And you get really good deals outside the cases. So that's the kind of stuff I'm more excited for. There are some like bigger Yaz and Hall of Fame rookies that I need that will be in a bunch of people's showcases, but that's where the best deals are. It's outside the cases, looking in boxes, piles of stuff, asking if they have more inventory in the back of a certain player or year or whatever, that kind of stuff. It's the hunt at the National that's really fun.
Nice.
So do you just
yeah.
go up there and say, sell me your lemons? Is that what you say, Don?
Yeah, if I have lemons, I can make lemonade. So that's what I did at the National last year. So
Then you
it was fun.
you could squeeze the dealer for a good deal.
Exactly.
I have nothing to add.
Yeah, that was a pretty sour joke. All right. Well, why don't we do a speed round here? Raise your hand if you will be the person to look through cheap slab boxes. Would you be willing to look through cheap slab boxes, or will you pass those? Everybody, or Adam will not?
Absolutely looking through them.
No.
No.
Okay. Raise your hand if you'll look through dollar boxes. Okay.
Maybe.
Everybody-
Yeah, maybe.
Okay. Raise your hand if you will eat a hot dog at the show. No. Adam doesn't eat hot dogs.
Granola only.
Oh man.
What about
Raise your-
What about dime boxes?
Dime box. Raise your hand if you will look through the dime boxes at the show. That's not me.
Maybe. It depends
Raise
on
your-
your time allocation.
Raise your hand if you will look through, or raise your hand if you will collect anything for a set if you'll look through a binder for a set. Okay. And then lastly, raise your hand if you will look at Eddie Lopat cards. Dom, you weren't supposed to raise your hand. Dang it. All right. So
I gotta
Dom
help
gave,
my roommate out. I'll look at him. Don't worry.
all right. So Dom gave a little bit of advice since he's the national vet in here, and Adam, you're one of the vets. Do you have any advice from last year? Any takeaways from last year to give us? People who haven't been there yet.
Yeah, well, let me just say, of course, people are going to have different strategies. So all I can do is say, this is, my plan, or this is what works for me. I guess one piece of advice I would give, it's like a war quote. I'm not sure who said it first. Everybody loves war quotes, but no plan survives the enemy, but no one without a plan survives the enemy either, which basically says, hey, if you go to war, you got to have a plan. But on the other hand, enemy's going to do stuff and it's going to mess up your plan. So you have to have some flexibility. So this is a way of saying, I think it's good for collectors to have a plan, and your plan might be a lot different than mine. That's, of course, cool. But also to have some flexibility because, it may not go according to plan. You might have a card you're targeting, and then another card comes along and really, really does speak to you. And it might make sense to go after it for you, or it might make sense to say no and discipline yourself. And so I really believe it can be helpful to make sure that your head and your heart are satisfied with every decision. Like your heart can be satisfied where you're just like, oh, I really want that card. I love the look of it, whatever. But does it really make sense for you based on your budget and your collecting plans? And on the other hand, it could make sense to your head, like, oh, this fits my budget. I'm trying to complete this set, whatever. But if your heart's not into it, and you really don't want to spend the money on that right now, then why not get something else? So there's a bit of advice. Make sure that whatever you buy, it's satisfying both your head and your heart as a priority purchase for this particular moment.
So one of the great people that we all know in this card community, a quote from this man, Pepino Man, act your wage.
Pepino Man, hold on. Since you brought his name up, dude, I wish he was in here. I opened that cup up to have coffee. I put coffee in it, and I found a pack. I don't know if you guys saw the video I did. There was a pack of cards, and it has in the bear, the Smokey the Bear. I have a set of these, which is insane, and I have a large set. I got him right here. And I know he'll probably watch this, so I was like, I almost texted him. So he just nailed it, and I found this in the coffee mugs. It's so sick.
Wow.
Gift that keeps on giving.
That's hilarious. Smokey the Bear cards. That's
So
awesome.
sick.
Man, I wish Clemente had a Smokey the Bear card. Jeez.
And let me give another piece of advice here. And again, this may not apply to everyone, but I can tell you that it applies to me. Last time, fortunately, even though I think I did well, but I think, I should have been, there's some things I probably should have passed on, but overall I did well. I'm very pleased, especially because, this card I bought is just an authentic, not authentic altered, and just recently crossed it to SGC. They came back at 2.5. So super stoked about that. This thing doubled in value. And yes, I'm stoked about that, but I'm mostly stoked about the fact that I kind of wanted one with a numerical grade, and now I have one. So
are you going to flip that for another authentic?
I'm just going to keep this one. It's got a story with it, but also I really like the card, and I was going for a really nice image. This one's off center in a couple directions, but good luck finding a low grade with an image this nice. The registration's really nice. The colors just pop. Some of you, like Dom, saw this in person. Well, Dom saw this in person last year.
Yeah, I held that
and
card.
some others did too, like Scott Reindeer Studios. So, yeah, I'm just going to hang on to this. Super stoked to have it.
That's awesome.
But this is just another piece of advice, and it may not apply to everyone, but it does to me. Fortunately, I was able to have some money for each day. I don't want to spend all my money in the first day or two. Psychologically, I do want to have some money for each day, not only because that way when I'm there mostly to see people, but I'm also there to buy cards. So by having some money, it gives me the option, and I like that psychologically. But also, if something comes up that I really want, I still have some money left. So I want to be careful and I may make a big purchase early on, that's possible, but I want to make sure I've got some money left to last throughout the show. And if I take a little bit back with me, I'm okay with that.
Yeah, Adam, if you run short on money, do you have to call your wife for more funds, or do you make the decision?
So what we do is, her and I have worked out. I'm on a budget, which I'm happy to be on a budget, and to be open about this to all of you and the people that are in the live. If I didn't have a budget, I would easily always want to spend more. So we've got our, priorities for our money. And so I've got a budget, and that works really well for me to have that budget. And so I'm basically going to take a chunk of money to the National. I have sold a few coins so that I'll have more money than I typically have. And I suppose it's possible at the National, I might dip into my August allotment of hobby money some if I need to. But my basic plan is take my chunk of change, and that's what I have for the National.
Nice. Cool. If we see you at a pawn shop, we know you're selling a coin. So if anybody else want to answer, what if hypothetically any of you guys else, you smoke your budget in the first day? What's your plan?
I'll just trade stuff after that.
Yeah. Resell the cards at higher cost.
Or a loss, just whatever it takes to have more money in my pocket to buy more stuff.
Okay.
Yeah, I get psychologically like you don't want to spend it all, but if there's a card you've been looking for a long time, and it's just and the prices, obviously study up on what these cards are worth and what you're willing to spend on one, and there's a really good deal of something that you don't see every day, just get the card. If you're going to regret it after, just get the card. You can still hang out with your friends, and like you said, go in dollar boxes, dime boxes. If you're lower on funds, you can still have a fun time at the National with a couple $100. Like, it doesn't really matter. Just get the cards that you want. If it's a tougher one or a really good deal, don't think twice. Just grab the card. I think that's really what it is, because I hear so many people talking about a card they've wanted for a long time. It's at a good price, and they come back, it's gone. So some of these big cards where you'll see 100 of them at the show, maybe you can let it go, but certain cards, if you've been looking for it for a long time, just get the card, because you will not find the booth again, and the card may not be there when you get back.
Yeah. Matt, what's your plan? If you come to the first table and it's all Hank Aaron stuff and it's like 20% off comp and you buy it, I have a feeling you're not going to come back for Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. What are you going to do?
I don't know. There's always more budget, right? I don't set a budget. That's part of the benefit of my plan. I don't plan to bring a budget per se, so which is probably poor. That's my job for a living, but I do it all at work, so I try not to do it at home.
Next.
We find out Matt owns an entire wing of the National floor. He's bought it out.
Well, I don't know about that, but if there's some Aaron cards that I haven't seen, or maybe like if I see another exhibit, like the Pittsburgh exhibit, it's coming home with me, most likely, right? So like cards like that with just a handful of them, I'm not going to walk by.
So Hammer brought up a great question and topic. He brought up, is anybody planning on taking cards for trade night or going to trade night? I might go there to just see what it's like, but I'm not taking any cards. But yeah, somebody is going to try to do trade night. Is it you, Dylan?
Yeah, I'm bringing a whole bunch of cards. I really am looking forward to doing trade night. I just remember as a kid sitting down and trading with people, and I haven't done it since I was a kid. And I think it's going to be a blast, and I'm willing to trade vintage for modern and modern for vintage. I don't care. I think it's going to be really fun, and if I don't enjoy it, then whatever. But I'm bringing a bunch of cards and a couple of heavy hitters too, to whatever happens, but at least that'll kind of be a backup for me something to do as well. I could also see myself just like everybody has a get together and I'm just hanging out the whole time and never go to a single trade night. That could happen too, but I'm going to be prepared and I am looking forward to trading for sure.
We get dibs first, Dylan.
Dude, you got it. I have my boxes. I already got them ready. I'm just gonna.
How are you moving all the boxes to Chicago? Are you gonna like? Or what are you bringing? Like the big cardboard boxes, or?
I just bought the sickest bag, and I test flighted it the last few weeks, and it fits these boxes like perfectly. I got a box right here. Fits these things, and it's a handbag. I can fit 4 of these in there, and then still a bunch of stuff. It's a backpack as well. I bought it from Ross. Dude, it's sick. So I'm gonna be ready. I'm like super fired up.
That's awesome. Dylan, are you gonna try to take any of this card? If you see a big card you want, are you gonna try to ask the dealer if they want any of those cards as a couple cards and some money, or are you gonna avoid that situation and really just?
I'm gonna avoid that at all costs.
Yeah. Yeah.
Out of money in it. That's all I got to do. But no, I want to go into the tables with just cash, do the trades on the side, outside the show or wherever. I don't want to do it on the floor.
Yeah, there was video last year. All the hotels, every hotel around there was just packed of trade night. Like you go to any of the hotels and the floor was just lined with people. It was crazy.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it was more like there was trade night, but it was also more like just, I don't know what you'd call it, trade, like just trade culture. Like at any time, oh, look, there's people, with their cards out that are ready to trade or actively trading. So it was just going on all the time. This, in addition to the official, trade time.
I don't know what you guys think, but maybe it's just from what I see on YouTube. It seems like modern collectors are more prone than vintage collectors to be trading. Like maybe I've just seen too many YouTube videos where it starts with a Joe Burrow card, one of his 1,000 rookie cards.
10,000.
It never seems like the modern collectors care about their cards. It's like, oh, I'll trade you these 5. All right, fine. Dom, you have something to say about that?
Yeah, I mean, I think that's not completely far off. The trade culture you see is probably a younger audience for the most part with modern cards, but like there's nothing wrong with it. The National is, especially with Chicago, with the hotels being so close, it's going to be like a 24-hour card show. There's going to be people trading and doing deals all throughout the week.
That's
Dylan, hit me up about that Pee Wee Reese.
Okay. Y'all, I'm bringing all this stuff and a couple more boxes.
Hey, Dave, we haven't had give you a chance lately. Is there any topics that you wanted to touch on? Are you taking some cards to trade?
Yeah, I've been going through some stuff, like seeing what sets I probably build and what duplicates I have, and then I'm just bringing that stuff, out. Maybe see about doing a one-on-one trade with the whatever dealer and stuff, so I can get some more commons, for other sets, and contemplating on a couple cards, about getting graded too. Talk about getting cards graded. That's crazy talk. Or I might just sell it outright. One of them might be going to Matt.
Nice.
So is there any chance, Dave, that you might do something like you had mentioned, the 53 tops Mantle, the 54 tops Hank Aaron? Is there any chance you might snag a card like that raw and then head it right over to PSA or SGC and have it graded at the National?
No. The only reason I was talking about grading cards is to flip it, to get a higher cost out of it to buy other cards.
Did PSA come out with their grading fee yet, or are we still waiting for that?
No, I haven't seen anything yet. The only thing I saw was like some Nashville something, like card shop or something, was talking about doing express through PSA at $150 a card.
I think it was Nash. Yeah, Nash cards.
Is it Nash Card? Yeah, Nash Cards is the subgrader I've used for SGC, but they do PSA also.
Yeah, they're the ones that talking about $150 a card for express. So I was like, I haven't seen anything for PSA or anything else.
I really hope SGC. I know SGC didn't grade on the spot last year, and I have a bad feeling they're not going to do it this year. Has anybody heard if SGC's doing it this year?
I haven't heard. They did that raw card review thing like Beckett used to do, right? Last year.
The SGC needs to step up and grade cards at the national. Like their excuse last year was, we're trying to take care of the people who submitted to us. Well, they're turning around cards in like 5 days now. So I don't really think that holds water. So I'll be very disappointed if they're not there grading cards. But Matt, what's the pain point with PSA for you to grade cards at the national? What number?
I don't know. I'm thinking about doing some crossing over. Just at this point, after the CSG/CGC, whatever it is, news last week, I think I'll cross over some of the cards, start moving everything over to PSA. I guess, right? So I don't know what else to do. So I don't want to do all of them there. I'd maybe bring like some of the higher end ones I have and try to get them crossed over, rather than having to wait weeks in the mail or months.
So what's the price you would be willing to?
So yeah, for those I'd be willing to pay like 100 to 150. Like, we're talking like the home run derby that's in a SGC slab. Maybe the 55 Johnson cookie that's in a CSG slab. Things like that, where they're around $1,000 card or more, somewhere around that. Like where it makes sense, right? I can't justify spending $100 to grade like a $200 card. I'm not going to do it. Although I think I just did it technically. That's okay.
Nice. Hey Matt, did you ever get the Johnston cookies from 1954, the Hank Aaron rookie, or is that one you're still looking for?
Always on the list here, Adam.
That's one I wouldn't mind having either.
Or the Spawn. The Spawn's really nice too, right? I mean that set's just really nice because it's like the normal, it's like the skinny little cards, right? I like the 53 as well. Not much Aaron's on in that set, right? But those are like the standard size card and 55 too. I like all of them. I'm not a Braves fan, but I think they're just awesome cards, right? And the Spick and Span ones, after getting the first one in for 57, like that, those are just really, really nice cards. Like those are better than Tops in those years. I'm down at the late 50s. The Spick and Span's better than Tops in terms of picture quality. It's tremendous.
What about the the Clowns one?
Well, that's what I was going to say. I was going to ask anyone looking for any museum pieces. I know Orlando did some awesome videos last year showing off like the Diamondbacks collection and some of those crazy cards. Like Dave is the one that sent us the link in our group text, I don't know, maybe 3 or 4 months back about the, obviously Hank Aaron played for the Indianapolis Clowns for a very short time. I think like just a month or so or whatever. But there's a 52 Clowns card. I'd like to just see one. I know it's not going to be in my non-existent budget, right? But I'd like to see it, at least in person would be awesome. Maybe even get to hold it. But yeah, I've never even seen one. I've just seen it on the internet.
Yeah. Matt, why don't you so we can show a little bit more cards. Why don't you bring out some of your mail? Why don't you start unpacking some of your mail?
Sure.
I was Matt's sitting there with all these Aaron cards there. In the meantime, I'd love to hear. Obviously, we're all content creators on YouTube. I'd love to hear how little or how much content you guys plan on making at the National. If anybody wants to lead off, go ahead. Go ahead, Dave.
I'm going to try my best to film while I'm there, but I think mostly it'd probably be like right after the show. To be like, here's my daily pickups, like normal, what people do. I do not know how to edit, so I might have to have Tyrus help me out with that.
You got your roommate there.
Theo, I mean, you're my roommate, so you can help me out. Edit and like show footage and what I picked up for the day.
Cool. Well, Matt already pulled something out here. Let's see here, Matt. What do you got there?
The 65 Tops transfer, Aaron.
Those are
That's
great.
nice.
Lick it, Matt. Lick it.
I know, right? It's ungraded.
That's awesome.
Could you put on a chicken outfit and hula hoop while you show those?
Yeah, don't let Pepino Man get his hands on that thing.
I know, that's fine. No, he knows how to do cards better than I do. He can take a Starbucks drive-through.
Anybody else want to say what their plans are with making content or not making content?
Yeah, I mean, last year was my first one, and I was planning on doing a lot more content, but I was just so overwhelmed by the show, and I didn't quite know the community. I only had a channel for a couple months. So now that I've built these friendships, met a lot of people, and have these great relationships with guys like you, I feel like it's going to be a lot easier for me to be there and making content to kind of scrapbook it with you guys, but also for the people like Jason at home to kind of just give them the experience vicariously through stuff on the floor and during the hangouts.
Yeah.
So yeah, all we have to do, I saw Orlando's comment. All we have to do is watch Orlando, A Collector's Dream. He'll have some nice show footage.
Oh yeah.
But my plan is to, usually I will do a little editing. I'm not a, high quality editor, but I do a little editing. But if I do any videos at the National, it'll just be use my phone and then just upload it directly unedited to YouTube.
Here's an unusual card for you, Adam.
Oh, I love it.
It's an unusual card.
Where's the usual song, Adam?
I
We
love
know,
it.
we know you got it handy.
Oh, that's right. That was when I was contrasting Musial to Musial, Bob Musial of the Yankees, 1927 and thereabouts.
So Dylan, I mean, you're the whale in the room here. You have what, like almost 2,000 subs now? Like, I mean, geez, we can't even be in the same room with you now. But what's your plan with making content? Are you gonna make a lot of content? Not make a lot of content? What are you doing?
I don't know yet. I would just want to kind of live in the moment and see what happens. I'll probably do like content at night or something. I have no idea. I haven't really thought that far ahead about the content thing.
Yeah,
But we'll just play it by ear. Oh, that's a sick card right there.
love it. I think Dylan, they should give you and Adam the main stage for a little while to have like some type of turn back the clock episode. That'd be sick.
Give me a cocktail, go up there, it'd be a blast.
Hey, if Adam's on there, they're gonna have to start that at like 9 o'clock in the morning.
He's talking about the other Adam.
Oh,
Yeah. Hey, I meant to ask you guys before I forget. Do they serve like beer and stuff like that inside the National or no? Okay. Is it expensive for
Oh, yeah.
beers? Okay. Like ballparks, like $7 a beer, or like what are we talking?
It's not quite ballpark, but it's definitely jacked up prices inside.
Okay.
so bring your own.
Here we go. Matt's on a roll. Here he goes, man.
This is the Milwaukee Braves version. This one actually is a lot harder to find than normal Braves version from 1960.
I can't even tell what the image is, man. All I see is blue. That's all I see.
That's all. Yeah,
the-
it wasn't on my shirt. Probably not a good shirt to wear for this. I forgot this game, but this is the 1960 armor, the
Nice.
Milwaukee Braves version.
I thought that was your bulging bicep, but
I thought
that's
that
the
Is that
circular.
a pog?
What's that?
It looked like a pog.
Yeah, no, it's just a plastic coin or token type thing. I don't know. It's on the registry. I got to buy it, right? Oh, slave the PSA.
So I did want to ask what my other question was, what's like I know this is a weird question, but is there a card or is there a player or a set that's like kind of like your kryptonite? Like you're going in, you're not planning on spending your hobby budget on this card set or this player, and as soon as you see them, you get drugged back in and you end up like is there anybody out there that kind of feels that way about any Dylan's shaking his head? What would that be, Dylan?
75 tops minis that are graded by PSA. I'm going to be all over those things that are perfectly centered. I don't care what grade. I will be a sucker for those as long as they're Hall of Famers or really cool cards that I love. And then 72 tops as well centered. Any card that's cool. Those two sets, if there's a pile of them, I'm doomed because I'll spend like $2,000 in like 2 seconds. If they're all centered, I'll be like, oh, I'm done. Oh.
You know, if there are some savvy dealers out there, they should be watching these live streams because they're like, okay, I'm gonna be ready for you.
Yeah, that's hilarious.
Can you tailgate? That was a question.
Yeah,
I don't never heard anybody tailgating at the National, but that'd be kind of fun to do.
Well, we could tailgate at the hotel's like right next to it, right, Dave?
Yeah, it's right across the street. Yeah, we can pregame before going in at like 9 o'clock or 8:30 in the morning.
Not opening the package live.
Matt's got a package too.
Yeah. We're not gonna wait for him. You open it, Matt. We'll keep talking.
No, you're good. Yeah, no, I'm not good at talking, as you all know. So I'm
Call-
better at buying and opening.
I
All
was
right,
hoping.
so a question for you guys.
Yes.
For the let's see, so it's just Matt. Well, actually, it's like Theo, Matt, and Dylan. You know, like what questions do you have for those that have gone, like to a national?
Like, when do we get our tickets? Like, I got my virtual tickets on my phone, like through my Apple Wallet. But like, how do you have to get in line to get checked in the first day?
So
Assuming?
there's
They
a
scan
schedule.
you right in.
Yeah, you there's a schedule. You can go pick them up like Tuesday or Wednesday morning. When
Okay.
you're there. Yeah, Wednesday, I think you can start getting your VIP stuff around like 10 or something like that's on the schedule. I'll send the schedule out to you guys.
Oh, you're VIP, Matt. They're gonna bring them to you. They fan you.
That's
They
what I was hoping.
feed you grapes. Yeah. No need to worry.
That's good. I'm looking for that hover round.
Yeah, I have a question for anyone who's gone. Last year I watched Eric, those back pages. I think they went to this Tops thing and got asked a question about how much a card was worth, and it was the 1951 Yogi Berra and Tops, and I was like, dude, that's what I want to do. I want to go to a convention thing like that. Do they have
Yeah, it's in the morning.
in the morning?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, what he's referring to is the Topps Q&A. I think that was 2 years ago that they did it, but it's impossible for like the general population to like get in line for those free autographs in that meeting now. Like last year, like all the people that got those autographs of Hunter Green, Julio Rodriguez, and Bobby Witt for like the Topps Q&A, they were all like dealers or people with media passes almost completely.
Well, I don't
Yeah.
want. I'm not going for autographs. Just
Yeah.
to go to do like they don't give speeches out, or is there live podcast going on during the day, or
Yeah,
anybody?
they'll have a stage on the national floor.
Okay, there'll be a
throughout the
stage.
day. Yeah.
Okay. Gotcha. That's good. That's what.
No, you're right. You're right, Dom. I think Eric got in with Mike because Mike has a media pass, so that's
Yeah,
why
I
they
think
let me
that's
get
what
in every
happened.
year. He and Rated Rookie got in there. This is the gel. I actually already had one of these. I keep buying duplicates.
Matt, I need to,
Yeah, dupes, man.
I'll bring it to the national.
Matt, I need to see the Canadian again. The Canadian. Where's it at?
The Canadian's in transit still.
Oh, I thought you showed it.
No, that was a 60. That was a 62 Jello.
Oh, okay. Let's look at the 62 Jello again. That's rare.
It's just an authentic, but it's the Jello from 62. It's a little harder to find the 62 Jello than the post.
I love when the glove is part of the focus of the image. So cool.
And this is probably the biggest card I got, or not card, I guess technically, right? But this is an REA from like a week and a half ago.
Uh-oh.
Oh,
Orlando's going to be jealous. Mantle's in there.
That's a sicko.
Mantle's lucky he's on the card with Aaron.
I know, like the 58 Tops. He was on there. He still took a picture with the losing team, although they won the next year, so I should be quiet. They won at 58, but anyway, all my Mantle cards have Aaron on them. So
Oh, Adam's showing something. Let's look at this. Oh,
let
I
me see
love
the
it.
mail.
World Series pose.
Love it.
Yeah.
Oh, there's a couple more mail.
Yeah,
I
I'm
forgot
looking
these.
for that card. I want to get that card right there.
Love
Oh,
it.
I love this card. You know, some people are
Show
not
this
in. Oh, that's
Go ahead.
awesome.
Talking.
Yeah, some people, I don't know, maybe they get tired of seeing Topps cards or cards that are, there's a lot of them out there. I don't think that'll ever happen to me because, I don't generally like things that are super overproduced, but when it comes to vintage, finding nice eye appeal and a lower grade at a solid price is not always super easy to do. But I just love these cards, even if, lots of people can have them, or even if I'm going to see them in lots of display cases, that doesn't matter to me. There's a lot of cards like this one that I think are super cool, even if, lots of people have them. In fact, to me, I like that because I'm personally not interested in one of ones. I like to own cards that some other people have as well, and then we, have that bond.
Mookie Chilson and then Hammer both asked good questions about dealers. So the question's basically, does anybody know any dealers at the show, and are there any dealers you should avoid? And I'll quickly say, even though this is my first national, I met somebody at the Pittsburgh show. His the vendor, his name's Clemente Clubhouse. He's the one that I got the KDKA card from. I know he's been at the national and is going to be at the national this year again. So I'm looking forward to seeing him there. But I'd love to hear from some of the people who would have an answer where they know some dealers and they're looking forward to it. So go ahead.
I say Craig, the one that talks to Mike Moynihan, I think.
Craig Halbig, yeah.
Yeah, him. And then what's the other guy that's big on like Facebook groups and
CJ, right?
Yeah.
J Cards, whatever it is. Yeah.
Yeah.
He does a lot of breaks and stuff. He has crazy. He's at the Dallas Card Show almost every time. He or his son.
But the ones to avoid, I don't know.
Yeah.
Dom?
707. The stuff that's going to be super overpriced, right?
I would say if you're a modern guy, avoid the all vintage tables. If you're a vintage guy, avoid the modernish tables. Like other than that, like you'll know what prices and guys are easy to deal with or not easy to deal with pretty fast. But if you really like a dealer or want to come back to the booth, get the booth number, but also almost all the big dealers have business cards as well. I've actually been reviewing the stack of business cards that I got at last year's national for the guys that I want to like go back and look where they are on the map and try to prioritize kind of going back there and seeing what they have as well, because they had stuff that I liked last year, meaning they might have stuff that I like this year. So it's all about just knowing what you like and trying to find dealers that match that.
Okay, but I have a question for both Adam and Dom since you guys went last year. My last one was in 2012, and I noticed when I was there, like a lot of people more congregated like around the tables in like the corporate area, more in the middle and stuff, and there was like less traffic on the edges. Did you guys notice like that at the one in AC or no?
Nice stands.
Yeah, Chris called out stands, so
I would say I don't know about more traffic necessarily in the middle. Maybe others might have a view on that. I will say this. I pretty quickly figured out, and of course, you know, lots of people have more knowledge and experience than me, so that's kind of obvious. But I pretty quickly figured out there are some dealers that tended to, sell at better prices. And so I think they were generally doing a higher volume of business. For those dealers that their asking prices were just crazy high, I don't mind negotiating, but I just walked. Like if they're asking 2 to 3 times what it's worth, I'm not even going to try to negotiate with them. Maybe it'll work, but I'm going somewhere else. And if they're asking, 20% more than it's worth or 50%, then if I'm interested, I'll negotiate, but not for 200 to 300%.
Yeah, I've actually heard that from some veterans. They said, look for some cards you're familiar with, and if they just seem a ridiculous price, it's probably good to walk away from that table. So it's pretty much what you said there, Adam. So,
and then Mike, I saw Mike's comment that you had shown. He negotiated this for me, and then it came back as the 2.5. He got me a solid price when it was authentic. So. My national plan should be simple. Find Mike, have him negotiate a Grail card for me, and then I'm good to go.
Yeah, mine's similar. I'm going to have Stuke scope it out for me and then point me in the right direction, and I'll buy it.
Stuke is a bad influence, Matt. He makes you buy way too many cards.
Hey, he didn't lead me astray. He did well for me in Dallas last
time.
So.
He did too well.
No, I was out of money in 2 hours, so. And then so if that's any indication how it's going to go, I'm not sure what day he gets in. Hoping it doesn't get until Friday for my sake. But
yeah, it could be
I
trouble.
think he's getting in Tuesday. Actually.
Oh, good. Go ahead, Dylan.
Go ahead, Dylan.
Hey, Matt, do you ever get that feeling when you go in, like when I used to go in casinos, you like go in and then you're like, you're so fired up. So I got it at Frankenstein's too. You go in, you're so stoked, and you buy all this stuff, and then you leave. You're like an hour later, you're like. Your gut feels real sick?
No, I mean, I was super happy that day. I mean, I think I was texting a bunch of you guys, right? I got that Swift Meats card. I'm just kidding with Scott Stooks, but like he found some great cards. I was just happy they were still there the next day, right? So yeah, he did well in terms of the end result, but it went quickly for him because he'd already gone the day before on Friday, and we went together on Saturday. I think it might have been less than 2 hours, and that's because I stood in the line at PSA for an hour.
This was
yeah. I've been thinking about, earlier you'd asked the question, what's our kryptonite?
Yeah.
I think my kryptonite would be if I see some card that's like, say, a 1, and it would, a card that appeals to me, but some card that's like a 1 or 2, and it's just looking the eye appeal is just so absurdly nice. And here's this 1 with absurdly nice eye appeal, that's something that is, that I would desire. It'd be hard for me to walk away from it if it's priced close to a 1 price.
It's like a siren calling you in. So I think Clean Cheap Shots has a good question here. Do you find that most dealers will have prices on their cards? So, quickly, I could speak to the Pittsburgh show. I would say it's 50-50. And I personally like it, obviously, when prices are on the cards. It makes it better and quicker for me. What's you guys' opinion on when dealers don't have the prices? Do you guys fine with that? You guys find it annoying?
Sorry. So I would say, because sometimes dealers, you might not see it on the front of it. They might have their price behind it. So you got to ask, what the price is, because they might put it, behind the card instead of on top of it. Also,
Right. But you have to open the case up and get their attention, obviously, to turn over the card.
Exactly. But yeah, I don't feel like asking, because a lot of times, they could be dealing with somebody. You might be interested in a card, and they're, working with somebody. There might be somebody else, and a couple of people ahead of you already, and then you're just like, well, I don't know what the price is. I'm just going to move on. So I think it's kind of annoying to me, but it is a lot of work for dealers, to continuously price their stuff and keep up to date. So
yeah. Why don't we? The last topic that we didn't really cover is autographs. So. I know I'm not going to wait in line for any autographs. None of the names really interest me to wait in line for them. Does anybody here going to get any autographs, and who are you guys going to get? Dylan, go ahead.
I'm just offering my autograph coupons. I think my thing comes with it to anybody who wants one, who sees me first. I'm not going to use them. I'm not going to get any autographs. So anyone's welcome to mine if they want them.
Cool. That's nice.
I like free autos. I might stop in line, so.
Okay.
Yeah. So, yeah.
Anybody else waiting for Dom? You're not waiting for any autographs. Matt, you're not waiting for any autographs this year?
Showtime's too valuable. If I can get Hall of Famers autographs for cheaper on the show floor, I'm just going to do that.
Let's see that thing.
Show off that Bob Lemon again for $20.
Woohoo!
I couldn't get that signed by Bob Lemon if he was alive for $20, and I couldn't get it slabbed for $20. So it's just a no-brainer at that point. Like, come on.
Dang.
No, I'm laughing at Rick's comment. It said, "Avoid any misfits. Run the other way."
Yeah,
I might wait outside of the VIP lounge just to see if Matt comes out and I can get his autograph.
That's nice.
Yeah, you won't be able to read it. I won't be probably getting any autographs. There's not really one I necessarily need to see.
Who's not, nobody take offense that doesn't get shout out, but who are some YouTubers that maybe you don't get to talk to on text messages or whatever that you might look forward to meeting at the national that is going? Does anybody have any that comes to mind?
Oh, there are a few of them are already in the chat right now.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, Mike, Rick, Darren, Scott.
Yeah.
There's a ton of people in here that I'm looking forward to meeting for the first time.
Yeah.
Exactly. And then there's some other folks just too, like in the, like for me, like Eric those back pages just because he's been around.
Mm-hmm.
I've been watching his videos. I watched every video he's made, like 500 of them, right? So he's always sharing his knowledge. I think he'd be a good one to meet. But yeah, there's a ton of people in the chat, Orlando. I mean, there's a lot of people I want to meet in person, even if it's for a minute. And then you guys, I guess, if we have to.
I mean, our sons are hanging out though, Matt.
Yeah. No, hopefully Ty won't be a bad influence.
Mike's really mean in person, so let's all make
not
sure.
mean in person.
Hey, everybody here, the inside joke is when you see Mike, ask him for selfies. Like, just keep bothering him.
What you won't miss Mike Baseball Collector or Eric those back pages because they're both really tall guys. Like Don's Field of Dreams. You won't miss him either. They're big guys.
So
Nice.
Don's not going to be kneeling.
He might just so he can be the height of the rest of us.
I
Oh,
don't
that's
think
awesome.
Don's going.
All right. Matt's got a huge card to show. Matt, are you going to open that big card up or not?
No, I'm not gonna. I already opened enough mail. That was this week's mail. So
Oh, Matt.
Don't ruin it, Theo.
If you're in the chat and you want Matt to open up a huge card, let us know.
no, it's good.
Ty will never know you opened it. We're already over an hour in. He will not know that you opened this.
Peer pressure is real.
Yeah.
Don't do it, Matt. Don't do it.
Oh, man.
I'm your Jiminy Cricket. I'm going to tell you that same stuff at the National. Don't do it.
Yeah. No, I need someone to hold my wallet. I think at the National. We talked about this, but
Not
Me too.
Theo.
Me too. I'm scared I'm gonna lose my money the first like hour I'm there. I'm just like done. Time to trade.
Man. So Matt, are you going to open it or not?
I'd rather not.
All right.
I'll open them with Tyrus here soon. One of these days. I already
Yeah.
opened a bunch of stuff without him.
Yeah, you're right. Does anybody we could close up shop here. Does anybody else have any other closing points or any cards they wanted to show that we didn't get to show?
Dude, I just want to show this card again and tell you guys, dude, you guys who wasn't on here, Adam was talking about the 53 tops, and I had a package in front of me, and I'm like, well, maybe this card's in it. And I opened up this package, and this was in it while he was talking about the 53 top. So to me, this is like just got extra special meaning, and I'm so stoked. Like, and this might be my favorite Warren Spawn card. I've been looking at it since I opened it up, so I just wanted to show it off again.
The coloring on that card is just
That's a
beautiful.
beauty.
Oh, it's insane, yeah. The Lonely Fours, I love them.
Yeah, Mike brought up a good point. I just think it's a given. That's why I didn't even bring it up. Is anybody not going to Thursday night?
It's can't miss.
I'm looking more forward to Thursday night than the actual National, and I've never been to the National. So
What is it? 7 p.m. with NBC Suites? Is that right?
That's right.
Yeah.
and then
So I
did
do
you-
have to say this though. This,
Yeah.
this time going around, like my 2012 National and stuff, and Mike Moynihan could probably say the same thing, and probably Eric and everybody else that went back then also, is that content wasn't being created for showing the National and stuff in 2012. So like I went by myself, not knowing anybody at all, and I still had a good time by myself. But I like this time now, I think it's like gonna be like a million times better because I made connections with you, I'm like got to be a little bit better known in the community a little bit. So I mean, it's just gonna be a million times better this time around.
Don't tear up, Dave.
I am sorry.
What,
I got allergies like Dylan.
Check this bad boy out.
Very
Woo.
cool.
Oh,
Stunning 5.
Spawn
Wow.
Brothers.
You love those red cards.
There's a
Oh,
black
there's
back
the
for
black
you,
back.
Theo.
Yeah.
and he just spawned that on us.
That's a nice.
I need to get the 53 top spawn though. I don't have that one.
There you go. Let's give
Yeah, is Dave going?
37 Wheaties.
Sweet.
Sweet.
Oh yeah, Dave Blue Jacket 66. He's going.
Yeah, it'll be great to meet him as well.
I'm trying to remember. I think he said he's bunking with Rick. I think.
I thought that was Mangini.
No, it is. Yeah, it is Mangini. Man, who's he bunking with? I can't remember. I remember he mentioned it in one of his videos. I think he did with Adam Splendid Sports. He they're in that 3-on-3.
Hey Dave, you did not mention the Nolan Ryan rookie card. Is that one you might go after or?
Yes, it's on my list of things. Yeah, that and the 70 Nolan Ryan. Also, yeah.
Nice. Well, let's close up shop, guys. If anybody watches this and is not subscribed to these 5 other guys' channels, their content is amazing. Please check out their content and subscribe to their channels. And just thank you guys for hanging out with us. It was a lot of fun. The chat was awesome. We had over 30 people in here pretty consistently. So it was a really great time. So thanks for hanging out with us, and we'll see you guys on the next one.
Hey, can y'all stay on after?
It's past my bedtime, Dave.
Yeah,